Seriously, because it's like, man, if you like not happy in something, like, to continue in like a job that doesn't make you happy, or what I'm saying, to continue in those things is like continuing in like an abusive relationship, if you ask me.
Yep,
Mhm.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like, it's like, what the heck? He beat on me, but he gives me money. He puts a roof over my head. I can't
Right.
can't leave him. It's like, nah, forget all that.
Mhm.
I'd rather be homeless. And that's
Oh,
how
yeah.
I think you have to get to that extent, like, and you know what? This is exactly what we're gonna talk about today. Let's do it. All right. Like, I'm loving this. For real, like, I think this is a dope topic, or a dope topic to hover around. Cover like areas, scenarios in which we've been unhappy and you've had to leave, or you've had people try to coerce you into like staying because it provided you benefits that they benefited from, or they're like, oh, this provides you money, this provides you this provides you that. You should keep it because it provides those things, but you're freaking miserable. Like, and that's how it was with me in the job. Like, I'm not gonna say I was necessarily like super, super miserable, but I just knew that I couldn't take it anymore. I was at my capacity. And
You were
so,
over it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
was over it. There you go. I was over it. That's exactly what it was. And so that was a decision I had to kind of make, and that brought me so much more happiness. You know what I'm saying? I got so much more happiness from making that decision. And so, that was kind of like the bunch of the past few weeks. But to be honest with you, that's why I have more time. Like, Kara could, attest to the fact of like certain calls that we were supposed to have, since she's the moderator over multiple different groups, um, and things of that nature. Like, she was trying to like schedule some of them, and then even conversations I was trying to have with you and Raven, Marquita, like, I couldn't really get to the calls, or really, it couldn't really get to the DMs because the job, it takes up a lot of my time. A
Yeah,
lot
I
of time.
noticed that with you. I'm like, I don't hate that Trey has a job, but I hate that Trey has a job
Yeah.
because like you never respond anymore. And I didn't know you were a moderator over multiple groups, Kara.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought you were just part of the I thought you were just the moderator for mental health. But Trey, yeah, I hate it that you have a new job. You
Mhm.
never respond to the inbox anymore. And then when people be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I talked to Trey," I'm like, "He haven't responded to me in days. How he responded to you guys?"
Yeah. No, I wasn't responding to them. Like,
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest with
He hasn't he hasn't been
you.
responding
Yeah, it can
to me,
irritate too. I've been
but
like, yeah. I've been going ghost. I've been going like, I really had, and it hasn't been on purpose. It's just been the fact that it's literally like, I'm doing something. I had to cancel last call, even with the fitness. So like, G didn't even come on that one because I had to cancel it because there was something going on outside of, with the church and stuff, and just a bunch of different things. But
Yeah.
I don't beat myself up. I'm human. You know what I'm saying? I'm human. I'm
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be perfect. And you know what I'm saying? We you just gotta get the rhythm. And so I'm never beating myself up, or never gonna resort to that. But it's just a matter of like, being in something that you just don't like. And then on top of that, that's taking time off from the things that you do like. Yeah, I said, nah, forget that.
Yeah, and then sometimes you got to work for Uncle Sam to get your own stuff off the ground.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Sometimes you do. There's a period in which you have to, and then there's a period in which you also have to leap. You have
yeah.
to
yeah.
get away from it. So yeah, there's a time and season. You're right
You
for everything.
got to figure out the balance sometimes. Some of it is like just some of it is you have to work somewhere you don't like or be
Yep.
somewhere you don't like for a little bit so that you can go ahead and do something that you do enjoy.
I don't stay at no job I don't like. I'm sorry. If I don't like it, I'm out.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
I'm
I
gonna
feel that.
regret because I'm gonna regret waking up. I'm gonna regret getting in my car, coming here. I'm gonna regret
Yeah.
walking through you guys' door. I'm gonna regret that I have to work here. No thanks, I'm out.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I love that. I love that. Freaking love that. But yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's just kind of my perspective in terms of that. But I want to know about y'all too. Like, and I guess we can go around the bar. Marquita and Kara, like, give us a scenario. Give me a scenario. Give our audience a scenario or a time in which y'all have had something, or a place or something that y'all were in, and y'all had to leave. It could be a relationship, again, an abuse relationship. It could be anything of that nature. But I guess the twist, see, 26, 61. The twist to this is that you perhaps had somebody telling you that, hey, you need to stay in this because it's benefiting you in terms of money, or it's giving you all these benefits. So like either one can go first, but I definitely want to hear. How you doing, man?
Trey, mute your phone.
I'm on mute. I'm on
Right.
mute. Here you go, bro.
Oh, well, I never had to deal with anything like that. Nobody ever told me to stay in something that I didn't want to stay in. I don't stay in nothing I don't want to stay in. I don't stay at a job if I don't like it. I don't stay in a relationship if I don't like it. I don't stay nowhere. I am not liked. I am not wanted, or I feel disrespected. I don't even go or stay at people's houses if I feel like I'm not welcome there. I don't stay places I'm not welcome. I don't have my kids stay places where neither one of us is welcome. If I'm not welcome, my kid is not welcome. If my kid is not welcome, I'm not welcome. So I don't really have those problems. I will leave something in a heartbeat. And my old female best friend used to be a part of this group and things like that. And Trey knows that. I'm not gonna get much into detail of it, but we're not friends anymore and not even associates anymore. And
Yeah.
I have told Trey once, if I get on the call and she's on the call, I might not participate on that call. Only because I don't want to ruin the podcast and I don't want to make myself look like something that I'm not, because people don't know the whole
Mhm.
story or don't know the background of where we came from. So I always tell him if she's on the call, I will respectfully not be on that call. So I don't stay place I'm not welcome. I don't stay at jobs that I'm not happy at, because if the job is not happy with you, they're gonna let you go. So the same thing. If I'm not happy with that job, I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all need me. I don't need y'all.
Yeah.
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 So that's how I feel about it.
I think that's amazing. I love that you have that perspective and like that you're able to do that because I'm getting there now, but I was
Mm.
not at all like that. Like growing up and or because it was I had the people pleaser mentality and just like, you have to do what you're like, you have to do what you're told. You kind of have to like, stay in the background or like, um, sometimes you just got to do things that you don't like.
Yeah.
It's like the perspective that I was given. Um, and I mean, my biggest story of staying in a place for probably far too long was in my marriage.
Yeah.
I was married for 7 years, and uh, there were good times, but um, there were also like just a lot of like just mental and emotional abuses that
Yeah.
happened. So just um, but because of my like own insecurities and also like my religious background as well was like I felt stuck um for a really long time until I didn't. And yeah, that's my
And
that's
did you have for your scenario, did you have people that were telling you to stay in that marriage? Like, I don't know if I ever asked you that, but like, did you have anybody that was telling you, no, you have the perfect image.
yeah.
You have the image, like you have the man, you have the money, you have the home, you have the this, you have the that. Like, stay there.
I mean,
Like,
there were people that told us to stay together and it wasn't
mm,
really none of it was really image or marriage or like it well I guess it would be image but more just like I guess saving face kind of thing like like you don't want to shame the family or you don't want to shame like like it's you're going against God basically by getting divorced is
yeah,
like what some people would say.
yeah. Gotcha. Wow.
I say one thing that I can agree that I can compare with this is, so I grew up in foster care group home, different family members' homes and things like that. And when we were a part of our family members' homes and things like that, people would tell us, we should stay there instead of foster care and group home and things like and all of that stuff. But I'm like, we might be better off in the group home, or we might be better off in the foster care, especially with me being, I was the tomboy of my siblings. I was the ones popping the gates, being with the boys, climbing the garages, trees. I didn't want to do chilling and pom pom and all of the girly stuff.
Yeah.
So I was the one that was like a little bit more mistreated than everybody else. I was physically abused, emotionally abused, all of that. So when we were living with my cousin, she used to abuse the hell out of me or whatever. And I wanted to leave, but my siblings wanted to stay because they wasn't being abused. So they're like, why don't you just stay? Just stay. You're with the family member. I'm like, I might be better off in the group home. I might be better off in the foster care system.
Wow.
You got some sucky foster care parents, but you actually have some really good foster care parents that will
Yeah.
take care of you and things like that.
Yeah.
So I always question, like, if I left my family and not listened to anybody else, even though I was a kid, would my life have been totally different now if I would have went to the foster care people, if I would have stayed in the group home and things like that instead of listening to everyone else. So I'm like, imagine if I was a runaway kid from my family and things like that. I feel like instead of listening to everybody, just stay there with the siblings, stay there, stay there, stay there. When I'm the only one being abused, I'm the only one being name called and things like that. Then I'm like, yeah, I don't want to disturb what my other siblings got going on. I don't want to mess up their life, but I don't want to stay here, but they want to stay here, so I have to stay here with them. So that's the
Yeah.
only time I can say I can relate to this topic because right. And then on top of that, I feel like that's the reason why I don't stay place I'm not welcome. I don't go to place I'm not welcome. If you didn't invite me to your party, I would not show up to your party. If you didn't invite me to your house and you invited everybody else, I'm not gonna come. I don't go nowhere. I don't stay nowhere. I am not welcome, and that's with a job as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And as for both of you, the next question would be like, what benefit do you feel like, what's the benefit of having a mindset like that? A mindset of like not being afraid to leave, not being afraid to say no, not being afraid to let go. Let go. Because that's essentially what it is. You're
Yeah.
letting go. What's the benefit of something like that? Like for somebody listening, why why should they embark upon that mindset or that perspective? What's beneficial in that?
Not being overwhelmed on something that's stressing you out in the first place. That's
Mhm.
the main benefit. You're not overwhelmed. If you get up and leave because you're not happy there, but people are telling you to go, once you leave, you're gonna be happy. You're gonna find something that's not stressing you the hell out, that's making you regret to get out of bed, that's making you regret not wanting to even walk through the door, making you feel like you got bills to pay, but as soon as they say they overstaff and do you want to go home, you're the first person to say yeah because you're overwhelmed with the place. You want
Mhm.
to find a job or you want to find somewhere where you're welcome, where you love it, where, hey, we overstaffed. You want to take the day off? Heck no, I want my hours or I want to be here. So I'll say
Mm,
being overwhelmed, just letting go of something that's stressing you out and overwhelming you, you will find something better. Especially if
mm,
you're in the career field where they need it. I'm in a caretaking field. I'm in a medical field. They always need caretakers.
mm,
They always need medical field. So I'll never
mm,
settle for less when it comes to that field. You don't
mm,
want to give me what I'm looking for. You're not giving me what I'm worth. Goodbye. It's two jobs, 5 jobs down the street that's offering me better pay and things like that because they need me. So I feel
mm,
like the benefit of leaving something that you don't like or that you're not welcome, the stress. You won't be stressed, you won't
mm,
be overwhelmed, and you're gonna have time to find something that you actually like to do and you like to show up for.
mm,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with Marquita. I think that like the stress and then also something that she touched on and something that she said is just like knowing it's like the benefit is actually like knowing your worth. So
yeah,
like it's it's knowing who you are and what you represent. And so like you're not going to settle for anything less than what will, either elevate you, like bring you up um to a better place,
yeah,
like um or just brings you joy.
yeah,
um So I think like that's really the benefit of letting go.
Yeah.
Or, it's there's a freedom with it.
Yeah.
Um, like a weight is off of you.
Freedom. Freedom. Mm,
Yeah. Which is like goes along with Marquita said is that stress, you won't be overwhelmed because like
mm,
that the stress is the weight like that you carry.
mm.
Um, yeah. I don't have much more to add. Marquita said it all.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, both of y'all said some good stuff. This like I think it was dope. Like what both of y'all are saying. This, yeah, it's to be honest with you, that's what I'm hearing from both of y'all. That's what I'm hearing from us in general is freedom. This freedom. You're when you're not afraid, you're free.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
have no restrictions. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine being in an abusive relationship, like Marquita, you said about the group home and stuff. Like, you're not afraid to go. You're not afraid to start over. You're not to go. You're not afraid to go back to zero.
Nope. Not
You're
at
not
all.
afraid. You know what I'm saying? And when you somebody that's not afraid to go back to zero, you dangerous.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I got that mentality with a lot of stuff. Like me, if I feel like something isn't working, I will drop everything and pack everything and move away. I have moved. I would
Mom,
say it's crazy, and some people probably think it's sad. Since 2019, I probably moved about 5 times. Like it sucks, and I promised my son we wouldn't move again. But if it's not working for me, and it's definitely not working for my son, I'm out.
hmm
I'm gonna
hmm
find what works for me, and I'm gonna find. And I got to that point. I think I deserved that point. I went through so
hmm
much growing up and things like that. I deserve to be happy, and I deserve to find happiness for my child.
hmm
So if I'm somewhere and I know that's not working, like when I lived down south, my car went out, and I live in a really small
Yeah,
town down south to the point where the grocery store was in the next town. The
I
laundromat
remember.
was in
I
the next.
remember. I remember
Yeah,
you told me about all that.
the laundromat was in the next town, and my car
Yeah,
engine went out. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, time for the next step.
yeah,
Packed up and just left to the next town. That's how I end up where I'm in now. I am never scared to start over, especially when
yeah,
I feel like it's going to elevate my life and my child's life.
yeah,
And yeah, I think it's a good thing. Some people might not, but I'm not scared. Sometimes you
mm,
got to start over for the best. Sometimes you just got to
come
get away.
on.
Sometimes you got to get away from all of the BS, the negativity. Sometimes you got to get away from family. Just get away from your own
Oh, oh. Like for real, like you get away from the people that's hurting you the most. Like, and you're not just talking about the Joe Blow or Jilly Bill or who. You're not
Mm-mm,
talking about Star 67 online. You're talking about
mm-mm.
family.
Sometimes family can break your heart the most out of any and everybody. They can hurt you the most.
Mhm.
Like I am like not to get too deep, but I am not close with my father anymore. And I met my father when I was graduating out of high school.
Yeah,
And I got into some situations with my child when I was staying with my father with his wife.
yeah,
I just consider her miserable or whatever. And then when he allowed his wife and his two daughters to try to fight me in front of my child, that's when I knew, it's time to move on.
how to get out.
And
Yeah,
honestly, still to this day, I don't speak to him. I don't text him. I don't call him. I don't do anything because I feel like you should reach out to me. I'm your child. I had your grandchild, things like that. And even with jobs want you to give them a 2 weeks notice, but they will fire you on the spot. I
Exactly.
believe I believe really heavy on not giving 2 weeks notice. Unless I really, really liked it, that job and I want y'all like,
I ain't get no 2 week notice.
yeah.
I left right on the spot. I did. I'm being completely
and,
honest.
and you're not wrong, only because if you did something, they're gonna fire you. They're gonna make sure you finish your little shift to cover that
Yeah,
butt,
yeah,
and then they're gonna fire you. So should we give you a 2 weeks notice to try to find a replacement for us? You ain't giving us a 2 weeks notice to find a replacement for y'all. So F
yeah,
y'all. Bye.
yeah,
If I don't plan on putting that job on my resume, I will not give you a 2 weeks notice. And I question whether or not the job is gonna go on my resume without giving them a two
exactly,
weeks notice.
exactly. Exactly, because it goes back to freedom, right? Most people
Yeah.
are afraid of, you got people that are afraid of quitting a job after 6 months because it'll look bad on the resume. It's like what kind of that's not freedom.
Yeah.
You're you're a slave to your resume. Like
If
forget
you
that.
only if you only
Mhm.
been on a job for a couple months, baby, that don't need to be on your resume. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, and that's okay. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. It's okay to not have something on your resume or to have something on your resume that is for a few months. If I think a good job will see the significance in your skill set or skill level that could have been developed in a 2, 3 month job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like babysitting has so many benefits when it comes to freaking um a job or an employee. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's okay not to settle. Sorry,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
Especially with all the money Uncle Sam gonna take out of your check anyways. You better
yeah,
find a check that you really like or a job that
yeah.
you really like
Hmm.
or whatever. Like, don't settle, especially not on no job. It's a million jobs.
Yeah, you can always get another bull crap job. Yeah,
Don't settle. Let them
yeah,
know your worth. Let them know you know your worth and move on.
yeah.
Mhm.
Get on in here, Carrot. Get on. Come on and eat. What you got to do? Come on, eat.
Y'all have been saying everything that I probably would say too. It's like literally don't settle. Like you have to know your worth. It's
Yeah,
if you don't value yourself, they're not going to value you.
yeah,
Yep.
If like and honestly, like especially with jobs, you are a number to
yeah,
them. Like
yeah.
it um they can say all they want that this is a family, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, like it's it's a paycheck and it's you doing a task or
Yeah,
completing something.
yeah,
Um so um so you have to but you have to know your own inherent value first
yeah.
before you expect that from other people.
Come on,
So,
come on with it. I love it.
so that's what I got. I don't have yeah. I have short little sayings
No,
today.
yeah, yeah. We'll take them. We'll take them. But no, y'all right. Like y'all both right. It's man. Like I said, the word I've been feeling this entire since we started this call was freedom. You literally have freedom when you don't care about what people think, when you don't care about what what people think is right for your life, when you don't care about what people think you should be doing. Like there's freedom. Why the heck? You know, so here's my thing. This is what I always say. And I don't know if y'all think about this a lot, but I think about this a lot. I think about the fact that we're going to die. We are going to die. And that could be tonight, right? I could be hanging it up tonight. After this call, LetzTalk is no more. You know, like that could be a thing that's gonna happen very soon. Um, and if it is, then okay, it's the Lord's will. But if not, okay. You know, but it's gonna end. I will die. Y'all gonna die.
You
And
better
that's
not
the
die on me,
truth.
right? Or we gonna kill you.
Well, there you go. Either way, I'm gonna die. Look, 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 look. But it's like that's the thing. Like we will, it's going to end. And so because it's going to end, you know, like, are you really going to like sacrifice your happiness and joy with the little amount of time you do have? Because Billy Joe or grandma or grandpa or somebody's going to think that you stuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you really like you gonna go into eternity, I guess, saying, well, at least at least I didn't, at least they didn't think ugly of me when the whole time they wasn't even thinking about you. They were too worried about their own crap. You know, like it baffles me how many people like actually carry that perspective and actually carry that level of mindset. Um, that ultimately is a downfall. And they end up dying withering in misery and miserable because they tried to please their mom, their dad, their spouse, and they tried to live for them.
Yeah. Well, truthfully, I think like sometimes the people that are saying so much about like you living your life in freedom or, like doing things, chasing your joy or your happiness or no, like because you know your worth, I feel like those people a lot of times are jealous that they're not doing what you are. because and so like they feel like they can't do it themselves. And so so
Mm.
there's like a level of jealousy there. Um, and so that's why sometimes they do talk about you. Like there was like, sometimes in my family, like my sister had so many beautiful opportunities to like travel, and she had made like friends with people, and like just opportunities arose. And
Yeah.
so and then there were some family members that would be like, oh, she's always doing this, she's always doing that, like what does she do? She just like, she doesn't do anything with her life, but she's
Yeah.
actually doing so much and having so much fun, like, and
Yeah.
enjoying um things. So it's like, um are you jealous, or like, that
Yeah.
you don't get to do that? Why are you talking bad about somebody who gets to enjoy their life?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
When you're that type of person who got to the point where you don't care what other people say or you don't care what other people think about you, of course it's going to be jealousy because you have people that's not at that stage.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got people
Yeah.
that care about every single thing. You got people that care about every single
Yo.
thing somebody said about you. So you got Sally sitting here just crying, nervous wreck because people talking about you. Then you might got me right here that don't give a fuck.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
ain't even trying to say it like that, but I don't care.
No, say it like that.
Like,
I mean, you could
You
say it
right.
like that. Like that's exactly what it is,
yeah. So
Like
you
I
Yeah.
gotta
don't
learn how to, yeah, you gotta learn how to not even care about the jealousy. Like, I don't care. You mad because you want to get to this point. I can tell you how to get to this point. Get the I don't care attitude. Get the I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck attitude. You want me
Yeah.
yeah,
to show you how to get it? I can teach you.
exactly. And when that's the attitude that you want from somebody, is like you don't want the jealousy we have to just like let go of. It's like, can I learn from you? And like and be willing to learn from people who have that mentality, so that it's like so you
Yeah.
can grow and elevate. Like that's what like this life is about: learning, growing, elevating, healing. Like
Yeah.
that's what we should be striving for.
Yeah. Yep. You said it. You said it. It's literally what y'all said, which is the level or aspect of freedom. And you'll come to realize how happy you are when you navigate that way, which in turn will make it'll deal with the insecurities. It'll deal with all those things that you struggle with or perhaps have struggled with. It'll deal with those things. As you're happy and you focus on your level of happiness and what's good for you, what's best for you, and as you become good, other people around you will benefit from that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
you have no benefit from somebody being around somebody who's miserable. They're
Yeah.
miserable.
And when you and when you get that type of attitude, you get to the point where nothing really bothers you. You in your own little bubble, you
Exactly.
doing your own little
Exactly.
thing. You don't care about any of it. Like you don't care
Exactly.
about the strangers negativity, the family negativity, the work negativity. You don't care.
Yeah.
And then I feel like nowadays that's the kind of attitude you have to have. Like it's okay to be submissive and vulnerable to some people or whatever, but
Mhm.
like not to everybody. Sorry, Trey,
Yeah.
you know I'm not an open book, so I'm not vulnerable and open to nobody.
Yeah.
Unless you make me feel like I need to be open to you. But
Yeah.
and it
No.
took and honestly, I wasn't always like that. It took like my sister, she's a year older than me. And you know, when you have that sibling, even if you're like mostly when you're a girl and you have a sibling that's another girl and she's a year older than you guys are close. Me and her have always been close. And she has since we was little, I got cursed out by her all the time about caring what other people think or
Yeah.
letting people talk to me crazy. I'm not a drama person, but you know, as long as you don't touch me, you can say whatever you want. I don't care about what you're talking about. Bye. You know, I always been like that. And my sister, like, no, stop letting people talk to you like that. Stop letting people talk to you crazy. So then once I kept getting stressed out and overwhelmed and caring about what people think and always worried about things that I can't control, I got to the point
Yeah.
where it's like, fuck you in that. Sorry, not sorry. And that's why I have the attitude I'm at now. Like I won't say I could be a B word, as you know what I'm trying to say, but I'm
Hmm.
not a B word unless you take me there. And I'm not scared to tell you when you're making me mad. I'm not scared to tell you when I'm happy. I'm not none of that because you're making me feel like that, so I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. It's like, nope, I don't care. I don't care what nobody think. I don't care what
Yeah.
nobody say. If you ain't touching me, I do not care. Just keep your
Yeah.
paws to yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You said it. It's you know, and like I said, when you're happy, it's hard to be mean. That's why again, I'm not really I'm happy. I'm super happy. I'm be honest with you. I'm so happy because I navigate like this. And because I'm so happy, I ain't never really like there are moments where I am mean. I'm not gonna say I'm perfect, but there and whenever there's a level of being mean, it's because I'm not focusing on and being grateful for the things I have. I'm not focusing on my love in Christ. I'm not focusing on those different aspects that make me happy. Those things make me truly happy. You know, the only time you become unhappy, I feel like, is when
Care about what other people think.
you care about. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's when there's a level of wanting to you're wanting to selflessly gratify your own selfish needs, or even like you said, caring about what people think is a form of selfishness. I want people to see me as this. I want people to
Yeah.
see me as all me center and this and that. But when you just honestly dwell in the fact that, okay, we're here for a short period of time. The Lord has been gracious enough to even give us this time. This time we shouldn't even have. Like, as I start to think about all those different things, man, I get happy. And I'm like, man, this is truly something to rejoice in. And you just get really grateful. And, you know, when you focus on those different aspects and you become happy, it's hard to be mean. It's hard to be mean when you're happy. That's essentially what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's hard.
Yeah, it's like when you care about what people say or think about you, you're stressed the hell out. You're
Yep.
overwhelmed. You're always angry because you feel like you always got to confront somebody or
Yep.
something because somebody said this about you. You feel like you got to confront the jealous stuff. But when you get to
Yep.
that point where you just don't care, like they
Yep.
ain't touch you, just let them run their mouth or whatever.
Yep.
Stress free. Like
Yep.
you're not overwhelmed, you're not stressed out, you're not arguing with nobody, you're not bitter because it is, you're not, oh, this person said this about me, so it hurt my feelings and it made me think about myself. So what? Oh
Yeah.
well. Go find something to do. Go get a hobby.
Yeah.
Like you be free when you stop caring. That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
Care about the important stuff, not the little stuff.
Yeah.
And like you said, I don't know if y'all know that saying, but we here for a short time, not a long time.
Yeah. That's why I love thinking about that, that truth. Because it's not me trying to be morbid. It's not me trying to like just ruin the vibe or the mood of the room. It's me essentially saying, hey, we're here for a short period of time. So realize how much you should focus on the good and not the negative. How much you should focus on loving and not hating. How much you should focus on being kind and not being mean. You know what I'm saying? Well, I think one of the biggest fears I ever have is going out of this world or my last day being like a big argument with someone. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that would probably be one of the worst ways to go out. Where there's like a and I would hope not to beat myself up in the afterlife. Like I would hope not to be like, man, I was, but I don't want to go out of this world being angry or being ugly to somebody, and you know what I'm saying, and you're like, you just have this animosity towards someone, and then you drive down the street and get hit by, but like it's like I would not want that for
Damn.
me or the other person. So it's like that's why it's good
Yeah,
to. Yeah.
I
Hmm.
understand that. That's terrible talking about hit by a bus.
I'm sorry. I just.
Not by a bus. That was extreme.
I'm
But
sorry.
I understand that because Trey, my sister passed 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And me and her got into a really big argument about something
Wow.
that her and all of my female siblings know about my best friend. My best friend is a male. I have 5 female siblings on my mom's side, and he knows all of them, and they know all of him because we've been best friends since I was in the 7th grade.
Yeah.
So it was this one rule that I told all of them, and I also told him, but she broke it. So we got into a big fight, and I didn't talk to her, whatever. But my sister was so sick that I couldn't hold that grudge. So right after the argument, the next day, I had plans on going to Chicago from where I lived. So I
Yeah.
still popped up at her house and went there, and I was just in the front room. It's just like, girl, don't come up in my house and don't speak to me, but you remind you we were fake mad at each other or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that night, and then we had like a family gathering like the next day that I was still trying to convince her to go to because she didn't want to go because she
Yeah.
was so sick and stuff. So I still spent that night with her, and she was like up all night. She wouldn't lay down. She didn't go to sleep. And I was just like, what's the matter? Why you're not going to sleep or whatever?
Yeah.
And then so she didn't go to the family gathering or anything like that, but I guess you can say we were still fake mad at each other, but I just went to her house and I was still talking to her, getting on her nerves or whatever. And then she passed away. So I'm like, okay, so I'm happy
Mm,
that I didn't be 100% mad at her to the point where I didn't talk to her, because I get like that. If I'm mad at somebody, or if even my siblings, and we get into a big fight, I'll stop talking to you.
yeah.
My mom had 8 kids, and the baby out of all of us, me and her went like 3 years without talking
Yeah.
because of her smart mouth. And
Mhm.
I'm happy I didn't do that with my sister that passed away, because look what happened. She passed away
Yeah.
like a week later, or like
Yeah.
2 weeks later. And I'm
Yeah.
like, now imagine that we got into that big fight and I didn't talk to her, and then she passed away. So the last thing I would know, we got into a big fight about my best friend.
Exactly.
And it wasn't even that serious. It was just like, you broke the rule I told y'all not to do, and it wasn't that serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a prime example of exactly what I'm saying. Like how those things can happen. And it's like, man, like imagine if we did that. Imagine if like, yeah, you just don't want that on your conscience.
Mhm. But then
'Cause-
sometimes it gotta happen. Sometimes it's just that person with the bad energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes there is. I think that's where like, just like forgiveness also comes into play too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Letting like and whether or not you reconcile with that person, like face to face or not, like having that level of forgiveness for them within, like, because I have some people that I'm like, I forgive them for what happened in my life, but I don't want to see them here on earth again. Do I do I wish that they do I hope to see them in heaven? I absolutely do. I hope that they have those like
Mm,
Jesus moments, and I hope that they are growing and elevating in their own stories.
yeah.
But their story and my story, I don't want to collide anymore. Like our chapters are done.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. I feel like that's kind of how I feel with my father. Like, I, and then I guess you could say some people won't say I forgive him because I'm still really mad at. Well, I won't say even mad at him. I just over it and don't want to
Yeah.
deal with it. And then I also told him, like, if I knew our relationship was gonna turn into this, when I got out of high school, I would have just ignored your message. I didn't grow up with him. I was actually going on prom when he came around and when we got close. But I'm like, if our relationship was gonna end up to this, you could have just left me alone, things like that. So I forgive him for the situation he put me and my child in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But do I want to talk to him? No, I'm over it. You picked your family, which is what you picked. Like, let's go be with your family. Like, you didn't pick me and my child. You picked your other family. So I forgive
Yeah.
you, but I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to come to your house. I don't want to meet. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to come do anything with you.
And honestly, that to me is like that is perfectly fine. And that's perfectly like that doesn't mean like somebody can't tell you that you haven't forgiven them. I mean, like if there's still things that come up like where it makes you like very angry, or you think like if you think that you're getting bitter about something, that's when I go and I like like when I have like from situations even like with my ex with my ex-husband. It's like when I have those moments of like I feel like I'm getting angry or feel like bitterness might be creeping in on me, that's when I go to the Lord and I say, God, I forgive him again. Like, it's like I forgive him again because I feel like these emotions are
Yeah.
coming. And that's for me, like to let it go again.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that
Hmm.
like I don't that chapter is done and I'm not seeking to talk to him again. Like
Yeah.
that's not like yeah, that we have nothing to do with each other anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a you thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
And some people
Exactly.
confuse bitterness with hurt.
Yeah.
Like even
Hmm.
like say child's mother and child's father, if the
Mm.
child mother is speaking on something about the child's father, a lot of people be like, oh, that baby mama is miserable or that baby mama is this, but it's like no, just because she spoke on it doesn't mean she's miserable. She could just be hurt about the
Yeah.
situation,
100.
especially if it's like a child father that's not there for their child. She's not miserable. She's hurt that her child has to go through this, or she has to go through this, or explain these certain situations with her child. So a lot of people confuse being miserable and bitter with just being hurt.
Hmm. Yes. Yes, Marquita. Yes.
Yeah. That's good, man. Yeah. Hey, y'all over here. Y'all going in. You hear me? Y'all are going in.
No,
Mhm.
Marquita was preaching really for real.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I was like, yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I love what I'm hearing.
Are you
Man,
still
this is good.
dashing?
Yeah, I'm definitely still dashing, but I'm actually like sitting right now and I'm just like doing content. That's what I love about dashing. I can like do content and everything like while still like talking to y'all and while like I could do this while working because they literally recording me and everything and I'm like talking to like 100 plus people a day. Like it's
Mhm.
crazy. But
Yeah, I was doing that earlier, and
mhm,
the Packers was playing today, and I'm out here in their hometown. So when the
mhm,
Packers is playing, it is hectic out here. So
Yeah,
Uber
the
was like busy this
Mhm.
mhm.
earlier today. So that's what I was out doing, waiting for the call to start. But I was only out for like 3 hours, and I made like over $300.
Nice.
Mhm. That's
Yeah,
what's up.
Packers fans, they'll make you money.
Yeah, they
You
will.
made over $300 in DoorDash?
No, I was doing Uber.
Oh, you were driving like you were driving people and dropping them off.
Yeah, but I was doing dash. I was dashing yesterday, and I made like $100 within an hour because I'm a gold member on Dasher.
Dang.
So I get the catering orders. I get the big pizza orders and things like that. So I could
How
be.
you be a gold member?
I've been doing Dasher for a long time. It's been some years, and you gotta be over a 4.0 in ratings. I got a five.
Mm.
I'm at a 5. I never got a negative rating or anything.
Wow.
I've been doing this for years, and I probably got like one negative rating, and the person said their food was cold, and that wasn't my fault.
On your fire, I hear you.
Yeah, it's like it's not my fault. They told me to pick up another order while I got your order. They made your
Right.
food cold.
Right.
So yeah, I'm a gold member. So I'm the first to get orders, and I'm the first to get the catering orders and the shopping orders.
I love the shopping orders.
I don't. I
Shop.
hate it because then you got people that order a lot of stuff, and they'll just stand on their front porch and watch you go back and forth, bringing the stuff to the porch. Like if you don't come down and get this stuff out the trunk.
I like the shopping aspect.
Yeah.
Okay. So, nah, this was dope. This was super dope. I enjoyed this call. I enjoyed the perspective. I enjoyed the authenticity, the pouring out, man, that y'all just did. This was just incredible. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I truly enjoyed this and loved this. I know we got fitness next, so we have 5 minutes now, so I'm just gonna end it here so I can mentally just prepare and just do a few things. Probably make like an in between call before that call. But before we head out, again, this is Let's Just Talk Mental Health with Karen and Marquita, my two moderators. Y'all got anything y'all want to say before we head out?
No, not really. Reach out to somebody, tell them you love them. If you need to speak to somebody, reach out to one of us. Our inboxes are open. Trey, after your fitness call, inbox me.
Absolutely, I got you. All
Peace
right,
out.
love y'all. Bye.
Bye.